This week's Come Follow Me study is in Doctrine and Covenants 121 through 123. These sections remind us that the Lord can order all things for our good, even when trials weigh heavy on our hearts. They teach us about endurance and trust, about the powers of heaven that rest upon the pure in heart, and about how Jesus Christ, who descended below all things, can lift us above sorrow. Before our story begins, let your body grow still. Let's get cozy and quiet. Sit or lie down and close your eyes gently. Take a slow, soft breath in and let it float out like a little cloud. Feel your shoulders relax, melting into the floor. Your hands are soft and still, your legs calm. Imagine a warm, gentle light wrapping around you like a hug from heaven. Every breath brings peace. Every sigh releases worry. The world is hushed, the night gentle. You are safe. You are loved. Heaven is near. Once, in a realm touched by twilight and starlight alike, there was a kingdom called Evermere. The land shimmered faintly as though remembering the sun. Yet shadows lingered where joy had once bloomed. Storms had swept through the valleys. The people whispered of silence from heaven. The rivers ran cold, and even the bells of the chapel no longer rang. Among the people lived a young man named Elliot, a shepherd of a little flock and a large heart. He had always trusted the heavens, but lately that trust trembled. Each night he prayed for light, for answers, for God. But the only reply was the wind echoing softly through empty hills. And one night, his faith, weary and trembling, broke into words, "O God, where art thou? How long shall thy servant wait?" The valley gave no answer, only a faint rustle, a sigh among the reeds. Yet, somewhere within that stillness, Elliot felt something stir, not sound, but presence. It whispered through his heart, "My son, peace be unto thy soul. Thine adversity and afflictions shall be but a small moment." The words burned quietly within him like coals beneath snow. He rose and gazed toward the mountains. Far off, A thread of light glimmered along the path, too soft to be fire, too steady to be moon. Something sacred was calling. He followed it through the night. Upward he climbed, past trees that seemed to breathe, past rivers that sang low hymns to the stars. The wind grew colder, the sky deeper, until he reached a cavern set into the mountain's heart. Its entrance shimmered like the edge of eternity. Within, a faint radiance pulsed, alive, patient, waiting. Elliot stepped inside. The air was thick with stillness. Crystals along the walls gleamed like captured starlight, and in their glow he saw an ancient figure kneeling by a pool of silver water. The figure's face was kind and luminous, his robe flowing like woven dawn. "Why have you come, child?" the figure asked. "I seek the Lord," Elliot said softly. "I have prayed, and the heavens have been silent. I wish to know that he still sees me." The figure smiled with warmth. "He sees you, always, but sometimes his light is hidden, so that you may learn to see through the dark." He touched the water with one hand. At once, ripples of light spread across the cavern, running through the crystals, filling them with color. Blue like mercy, gold like faith, rose like endurance. Elliot watched in wonder as the light grew until the walls themselves seemed alive. "These are the prayers of the faithful," said the figure. "Each trial offered to God becomes a crystal in his keeping. Every tear, every waiting season, every act of courage adds to the tapestry of light. What feels lost is gathered. What feels broken is made whole." Elliot fell to his knees, tears of awe slipping down his cheeks. "But why must there be darkness at all?" he asked. "Couldn't God show us the light always?" The figure's eyes shone with compassion. "Even light untested cannot endure. To see God in the sun is faith begun. To see him in shadows is faith fulfilled. The Saviour descended below all things, so he could lift you above them. He walked through every storm, so that when you cry out, he can answer as one who has already been there." Elliot felt the truth sink deep into his soul. He saw the Saviour kneeling in Gethsemane, walking the lonely road of pain, descending below all sorrow, so that no soul would ever be alone. And he understood. The figure rose and placed a hand upon Elliot's heart. "Carry this light back with you," he said. "Let your faith be in what you know. When you endure well, your soul becomes a lamp for others still in darkness. The powers of heaven are gentle like dew on morning fields. They descend quietly, and those who receive them must have pure hearts." The cavern began to fade, its brilliance drawing inward until it seemed to flow into Elliot himself. He looked down and saw his own hands glowed faintly. He felt no fear, only peace, vast and deep as the sky. When he opened his eyes again, he stood once more on the mountain path. The night had not vanished, but it was changed. The stars blazed brighter, and he felt their nearness like friends watching from above. The valley below glimmered faintly with dawn. Elliot walked home, the new light within him steady as his breath. He spoke kindly when others despaired. He prayed for those who had wronged him. He gathered those who mourned and taught them what he had learned in the mountain's heart, that every sorrow sanctified becomes strength, and every shadow endured becomes part of heaven's light. In time, people noticed the peace that surrounded him. They called him Elliot the Luminous, though he only smiled and said, "The light was never mine. It belongs to the one who never left me." As we finish our story, let's pause to think about what it means. The cave with glowing crystals represents how God's light shines even when life feels dark. Each crystal is a moment of faith or a small choice to trust Him. Even small acts of obedience and kindness can grow into great treasures. The snowy storm outside the cave symbolizes trials we face, while the warmth inside represents God's presence that comforts and strengthens us. The man of light is Jesus Christ, who descended beneath all things so He could lift us above sorrow. Just as Elliot carried the light back to his village, we too can share the peace, love, and guidance God gives us. Even when life feels scary, God is always near, helping us endure and grow. Breathe softly. Picture that cavern of light again. See each crystal glowing with color, everyone a promise, a prayer, a moment of endurance transformed. The Lord is gathering your light too. He is shaping your afflictions into wisdom, your waiting into faith, your sorrow into strength. Let His peace settle upon you like dew. Let His love fill your chest until it hums like starlight. You are not forgotten. You are never alone. Even in darkness, God is near. This week, let your heart live what you've heard. Endure your trials with trust, remembering that every affliction can be for your good. Seek to influence others through gentleness and love. And when the world feels dim, whisper to your soul, even in darkness, God is near.